Hey, what do we got here? Well, obviously what we got here is a chair.
It's a chair, one of the most famous chairs you'll ever see.
Oh, really?
Abraham Lincoln sat on it. Why he was in the White House.
Okay. Well, I'm sure he sat in a lot of chairs.
It come from a set of chairs that was in the White House while he was president. I'm asking $2,000 for the chair, and that's the lowest amount of money I'm going to take for the chair.
That is really neat. This was in the White House?
From the formal dining room.
Okay. That's pretty interesting. I mean, you don't think about it now, but the furniture was a big deal back then. It was really, really expensive. The things people, well-off people did, they spent money on furniture and silverware and luxury items around the house because there was no TV at night, so people entertained every night. So those things were very important.
Right.
Presidential memorabilia sells for good money, but Abraham Lincoln, that's some money. So if we can actually tie this chair to Abraham Lincoln, there is value here, serious value. You got documentation for this,
Yes.
or what do you have?
One letter is from the White House telling the individual that they didn't want the chairs there because they had too much furniture. But then I have the original newspaper clipping where Robert Todd Lincoln donated them to a girls' school in Vermont.
Okay. Do you have any other proof that it's his, or?
No.
Okay. How much were you looking to get out of it?
$2,000.
$2,000. Doesn't sound out of the realm of possibility. But my problem is your paperwork. Do you mind if I call someone and take a look at him? He runs the Clark County Museum system here. He's an amazing historian, and he could probably tell me everything about him.
I have no problem with that.
Hang out a few minutes. I'm going to give him a call, and I'll get it figured out, okay?
Good, I appreciate it, thank you. I'm welcoming the fact for somebody to come and look at the chair. Any expert that they want to bring in, bring them on.
There's a possibility that Abraham Lincoln's butt touched this thing.
There are high points in every chair's life, I guess. When you're dealing with presidents of the United States, nobody has a bigger name than Abraham Lincoln. Anything related to Abraham Lincoln is hugely popular. This was the man that brought the country back together and then was assassinated at the end of the Civil War. He has an image among the public greater than nearly any other president we ever had. So, do you have any paperwork that goes along with this?
Yes, have this over here.
Let's take a look here. Okay. That's a well-known photograph. This is one of Matthew Brady's photographs of Lincoln. It shows this decorative element right here on the side. And so when you look at this, you can see this decorative element is not the same as this one. So obviously, this chair isn't this chair. And the interesting thing is the chair that's in this photo is one that Matthew Brady owned, not one that Lincoln owned. Had this been a match to this, it would have been highly unlikely it was ever in the White House. Now, I tried to pull up every interior, either drawing or photograph from the Lincoln period that I could find, and I didn't find this chair in any of them. What I couldn't find is any photographic proof or drawing proof. As I read this, we don't have anything from Lincoln or from the White House. The time period is right on the chairs, but there's not enough for me to say that these are ones that were used in the White House.
Thanks.
Sorry about that.
Thanks, man.
And thank you. That is very interesting to see. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You need to have something that actually shows ownership by Abraham Lincoln. It's not going to be easy, but if he can do that, he's got a really wonderful piece.
Well, if I buy something off a customer, I got to resell it. And when I resell it, it's got to be beyond a reasonable doubt what I'm selling is what I'm selling. It's just the way I do business. But at this point, I can't make you an offer. So thanks for coming in, but I just can't do
Thanks
it.
for looking at it.
No problem.
You expect these things. Everything can't be what you want it to be. But I believe I brought in enough evidence here to prove that this chair is from the White House.
Hello.
What in the world is this?
This is my Starkey egg chair.
Okay, what's that?
It was originally used as a hearing test chair. It's really cool. It has speakers inside.
I don't know, dude. It looks pretty Dr. Evilous. You think your dad could sit in it?
Yes.
Fits him perfect. We'll get him a little naked cat.
I came into the pawn shop today to sell my Starkey egg chair. A Starkey egg chair is a hearing test chair used by audiologists to test people's hearing back in the 80s. If I'm able to make a deal, I will spend my money on a trip to Italy with my husband. Ciao.
This looks cool. So they would use them basically to help sell hearing aids and do ear tests on people.
Yes.
And then they came out with noise canceling headphones and way easier, way more portable.
Pretty much.
So does it work still, or?
Yes, it does. Do you have a phone we can plug in?
Yeah?
Okay.
You need music?
Yes. And then sit in the chair.
Does it sound any different, or?
I can't hear anything.
All right, we've heard enough. Get out of the chair.
I can't hear you. Are you?
You can see me, get out of the chair.
Dude, this thing is sweet.
The egg chair got designed in the 60s, but most people today recognize it from the movie Men in Black. This particular model was designed for hearing test, but it is kind of funky and it does have surround sound, so I'm pretty sure someone will buy it. So, what are you looking to do with it?
I am looking to sell it.
What are you looking to get out of it?
I'm asking 1,000.
That might be a little much.
Okay.
Would you take 500?
I would take 750.
Sounds like you'll take 500.
I will take 750.
700?
725. $700.
All right, Joe. Chum, you wanna write it up?
Or you can write it up and I can listen to music.
All right, come with me.
Okay. $700 isn't exactly what I wanted for the chair, but I'll take it. Pack your bags, we're going to Italy. Ciao.
Hey, how's it going? What do we have?
This is the iconic Playboy logo chair. Now, this is from Playmate Promotion, so it's seen a lot of tail.
Okay.
I mean, bunny tail, you know? I came down to the pawn shop because I, a former Playboy bunny, have a whole bunch of Playboy collectibles, and this time I brought an iconic Playboy rabbit head-shaped chair. I'm asking $600 for it, and I'm sure that it's well worth it.
So this chair's kind of infamous, right?
Well, yeah, you can say that. These chairs are used for the Playmate promotions. I'm sure you're somewhat aware of the history of Playboy and the Playboy.
It was on the cover, and she was the first African-American woman ever to be on the cover
That's
of Playboy.
exactly right.
Yep, and it was more than a little bit controversial. She was also the first one to pose nude on the cover.
That's right.
So is this the same chair she sat on?
This is not the same chair. This chair has been used for the Playboy Playmate parties.
All right, so tell me the story with the chair. Where'd it come from?
Well, I was at a party called the Playboy 50 party, and it was just a one-night party, and they did it in 50 different cities with a number of the Playmates. These chairs were in the VIP room, as was I, with the other Playmates.
So you were at the party, and you snuck out a chair.
I wouldn't say that. You really think I can, like, take this and stick it under my shirt?
I bet you had somebody with you that could. The Playboy Bunny's so iconic, it's right up there with Nike and McDonald's when it comes to being recognized. But just because people might walk into the shop and recognize the image, doesn't mean they're gonna buy it. I gotta make sure I'm gonna make a profit. What are you looking to get out of it?
Okay, well, I'm asking $600 for it.
You take 4 for it?
Could you do 5?
If it was actually the one that Stern had on the cover, it'd be a lot of money.
And a lot of money.
You said there was 50 parties in 50 states for
Right.
the 50th.
And again, how many of these actually wound in the hands of the public, I don't know.
I'll tell you what, I'll go 450.
475.
Nope,
Oh,
450 is the best I could do.
well, in that case,
Deal?
you got a deal.
All right, Chum, right check.
Okay, thanks.
Come on.
You know, $450. I know that Playboy tail is worth more than that, but then again, this is a chair, and I'm not really thrilled about the idea of carrying it back home again. I think it'll go great here with the decor.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Got something I think you might be interested in.
A poster, right?
You know, it's something a little bit better and different than that. This is the original blueprint of the electric chair from the Joliet State Prison in Stateville.
Okay, that's definitely more interesting than a poster.
This was a brand new thing for the state of Illinois, so sometimes they had inmates help them do it, or they had their staff build that chair. I would like 5,000. If that's not possible, maybe 1,800.
So where in the world did you get this?
Well, back in the 1970s, I worked at the county jail for a few years. One of the old-timers there who was retiring took a liking to me as a rookie and gave me this. The Joliet State Prison was part of Cook County back then in 1925 when they opened up.
Okay, so there was some Chicago mob guys in there, right?
Definitely, definitely.
Over the past, 120 years, the electric chair is probably one of the more interesting things to be invented. Most places have switched out the electric chair for the gas chamber or lethal injections. People seem to think it's a little bit more humane, but how would you know unless you ever been put in one?
Is this electric chair still at the prison?
It still exists, except it's all bricked up. August 24th, 1962 was the last time in the state of Illinois that they executed anybody. And they bricked it up, hoping that maybe the state would change their mind and have it come back.
Yeah, it's been a controversial issue, whether, the state has the right to actually kill somebody. I mean, there's people out there that will say if murder's illegal, the state can't murder you, no matter how bad of a guy you are. And then there's plenty of people out there that believe, there's just some people that are such they deserve to die. I'm sure collectors would be all over these blueprints. If this is an original and not something that was mass printed, it might be pretty special. How much you want for it?
I'm looking at 5.
500?
5,000.
5,000.
Whoa.
Okay, do you mind if I give a buddy of mine a call?
Who would that be?
It's my buddy Mark, Clark County Museum guy. He's pretty much knows everything there is to know about everything.
Sure.
All right.
I have no problem with them calling in another person to look at them. He's going to see that they are real and they are the originals.
So what do you know about electric chairs?
I wouldn't sit in one.
Can you read the blueprints to one?
Yes. Oh, it's Stateville. Okay. There are only 3 electric chairs in the entire state. One of them was at Stateville, which is the state penitentiary. Joseph Reagan, he was the warden at that point. He didn't like to do executions. He didn't believe in executions. So he always appointed one of his staff, a deputy, to actually turn on the juice, as it were. The electric chair does still exist today. There are a few states that still have it as a primary means of execution. There are a number of states where it is available if the criminal being executed asks for it. But in most cases throughout the United States, most states have gotten rid of it. One of the things I think is kind of interesting about these, they tried to make them at least a little bit comfortable. You had actually different ways of restraining you. You have a padded seat that can be removed. The back here can be moved so that you can lean back more or less. There was an odd nod to comfort on that when it was going to be utilized.
How common are these things?
You can find blueprints in books, in histories of executions in the United States, things like that. They've been reproduced. But to find a first-generation print, that's unusual. I can say that looking at this, the paper is right, the age is right. This is real. This would be a first-generation blueprint for the electric chair.
Okay. Well, thanks, Mark.
Not
Appreciate
a problem.
See you later.
Thank you, sir.
You wouldn't think that there'd be a collector's market for devices like the electric chair, but there are. It's kind of nice to see a single design that's original to the time period.
So how much were you looking to get out of it?
I would like to get about $5,000 for it.
That's a little much. If it said Edison anywhere on here, you'd be looking at $5,000 all day long. The fact that it doesn't, it makes it worth a little bit less. So I'd like to offer you around $800 for it.
No.
Are you willing to come down at all?
I'm willing to come down to about 22.
Realistically, after I spend some money on it, I could probably get 3. Could you go 1,000?
$16.
1,500.
Get a deal.
All right, good. Chum, you want to write them up?
Sure, grab the plans and I'll meet you at the front.
His offer for $800 was just out of the question. It just didn't seem reasonable, especially when they're authentic. It's less than I was hoping for, but it's better than nothing, and I'm happy with that.